Alright everybody, I'm going to do a quick video of my current game project, which doesn't have a title. Mostly this is just to show a friend where I'm at currently. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the game, and hopefully we're recording on the right monitor. And there's no sound in the game yet, so most of it's just going to be me yammering on. So this is our title screen, and I'm just going to hit play and go right into it. It'll go to the main screen. So the game is going to start off looking essentially like this. The entire theme of the game is that you are looking at the inside of a computer, like the physical hardware components, and as the game goes on, you're going to be interacting with those components to kind of build up your computer, for lack of better phrasing. So the game is a mix, a little bit of Vega Conflict style and general city building, a little bit of Tron thrown in there, so on and so forth. So we're going to jump right into it. There's not really a whole lot of gameplay restrictions built in yet. As you can see, there's no resources or anything like that piling up. I can build anything that I want. There's no building tree yet. I've got to code that in. The UI is going to be all black and white until the player unlocks the graphics to change that. The graphics are going to be very pixelated and black and white, again, until the player upgrades his computer, adds a video card, and then they can change the settings as they want. So the first thing you always want to have is a CPU, but we don't have a tech tree, so I'm going to build whatever the heck I want. But the CPU it's basically going to be a point-and-click system where you click on the darker gray areas. Like these are the I/O card slots. There's some capacitor slots over here on the left. Hard drive slots back here. There's 3 of those. Accelerator, there's 1, there's 2. RAM, there's going to be 6 slots for RAM and 2 CPU slots, and the power is all going to be down here. So what each component is going to do, the CPU is going to control everything. So initially the tech tree is going to require you to build 1 CPU. And I do have a few bugs in my GUI, unfortunately. So build the CPU, then the tech tree will open up and you can start building other things. Like we're going to need RAM. RAM is going to be what collects data. So I haven't really decided the total design of the game yet. So I want the player to be a little more interactive with the game. So I'm thinking about having like an idle game system where the player can, run like an idle game or whatever, and those actions dump resources into the computer, like data resources, to give them more to work with. So we're going to build a RAM chip, and you can't really see it because the graphics are set so low right now because we haven't installed a video card, plus those settings aren't actually even in there yet, but there's a little 5 over it, and it collects 5 right now. It's currently 5 data every 3 seconds. And our little bar fills up, and we have a maximum of 1,000 right now. Now, we don't have any storage. So storage in a computer long term is the hard drive. It's permanent storage. Now, right now, I don't have any design where if the player's computer gets attacked from the internet and they lose power, that they'll lose all the data in RAM. I haven't coded that yet, but that is something I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and build a hard drive, and the hard drive is actually just going to increase the maximum storage capacity. And I apologize for the dog in the background. I can't do anything about him. So for every hard drive, it's going to be 10,000 additional resources. And like I said, there's no restriction right now, so we can build whatever the heck we want. So we're going to build all 3. Right now, it's only 10,000 per hard drive. That's obviously going to change when I start balancing out everything, costs and whatnot. So the accelerators go there, and like you can build 6 RAM chips, 2 accelerators, 2 processors, and several power capacitors over here on the side. Which power capacitors, it's going to function a lot like the old Command and Conquer games. You see we have a power bar up here, so that's going to go up and down a lot based on how much power maximum you have versus how much power all of the devices, components, and so forth in the computer are actually eating up. So, as an example, if you have one capacitor and a RAM chip, a processor, and a hard drive, and 3 I/O cards, it's going to eat that capacitor alive, and you're going to run out of power, and the computer's going to shut down. So you'll have to add more capacitors to bring in power, and the power mechanics aren't complete yet either. But anyway, so we can add a few of those, and I'm still not done with actually building general models, 3D models for each component. So right now there's just some lights and different things going on everywhere. So let's build an I/O card, and you're going to see in the lower left what it's going to unlock. Like the first one unlocks our firewall defense system, which we can click on that, and it's basically going to be like a straight line tower defense game, where basically the thing going up and down over here on the right is going to be our attacker, which is going to be an AI, or if I can ever figure out how multiplayer works with Unity, it's going to be player versus player, where they launch their attack from. So for the AI, it's just going to be a little thing going up and down. It's going to randomly spawn attackers that are going to attack your home base, which is this little house over here. The plus symbol's over here. Again, as the player adds components in the computer, it's going to sharpen up all of the graphics across the game for the player. So these will be a little more legible. They're going to have color options, so on and so forth. So we're going to add a wall, add different firewalls. We're going to have to move some things around here to make it clean. But so basically what you're going to have is these firewalls. And then I haven't coded it in yet, but this plus sign right here is going to be add a turret. So you're going to have like, I think I've decided on 5 turrets per wall. And as the enemies attack, the turrets are going to attack the attackers. They're going to defend the home base here. And as the attackers come in, they can knock down the walls. As the walls are going to have hit points. It's basically going to be like a very small, very dumb tower defense game right here. Mostly idle, but you can still upgrade it, upgrade the walls, upgrade the guns, so on and so forth. So let's go back home, and then we'll add another card, and it's going to unlock our video and audio settings. This is where the player will actually be able to turn on music, turn off music, turn on sound effects, turn off sound effects, increase and decrease volume, so on and so forth. Once the game actually initially starts and they're playing for the first time, there won't be any sound. So this will allow the player to kind of mess with that. The video settings is where what I've been talking about off and on. It's going to change the pixelation, the anti-aliasing, the colors, the brightness, the contrast. It'll open up things so the player can do whatever they want. Not 100% whatever they want, obviously, but they'll be able to change the colors for the UI, the icons, the text. It'll actually add color to the resource bars up there where the data, it won't be black and white anymore. It'll be blue. Power is purple, I think, or green. I'm sorry. I/O is the I/O cards. That's orange, and then the sparks is your stuff that'll speed things up, speed up production. Those are purple, I believe. The bar, the resource bar, is purple. So let's unlock another card here, and that's going to unlock the cloud. So the cloud aspect of the game, when we click on that, is basically, here's your home base, square in the middle. There is random, all these little black and white dots everywhere. Right now, you can't tell that as the further you go away from your home base, it gets more difficult. Right now, there's only 3 difficulty settings that I have programmed in, is low, medium, and high. And they're different color codes. Like low is blue, medium is like a yellowish orange, and then high difficulty is red. And right now, since we haven't upgraded our video or done anything with that, all we see is that there's a bunch of potential targets. All these little dots will be in the future is going to be AI controlled computers out on the internet. That's what the representation is going to be like. As the player upgrades the graphics, this is going to look a lot more pretty. There's going to be a big, network background and lines going everywhere, and it'll be all fancy. Again, I would love to code in multiplayer at some point, where this is going to be like your universe view, where you will see other players' bases or their computers or whatever, and then you can attack their base and they can attack yours, and there's going to be a whole bunch of DDoS attacks and man-in-the-middle attacks and all kinds of things that you can do to increase the intensity of your attacks to other players, so on and so forth. Obviously, it's not going to be a real hacking game, guys. Come on, don't be stupid. And then we just go back home, and then we can add, more components. Yeah, like I said, I've still got a few bugs in the UI. I've got to clean up a little bit. And unfortunately, the more components you add with all these camera effects, it does get a little slow. But we'll throw some things on here. Get some more RAM. Our second accelerator, which there's only 2 that you can get a maximum of. Second CPU. Our 6th RAM chip. And the power components, right now you can click on them, but they don't do anything yet. Like there's build, they don't do anything. I don't have anything programmed in there yet. There is a little bit of a zoom out for those that have higher end graphics cards. They won't get as much lag, and they'll be able to enjoy the pixelated black and white view. Now, again, as the player unlocks the video cards and the video settings and so forth, they will be able to upgrade the graphics in the game to where there's going to be color, there's going to be lights and all kinds of fun things. So that's pretty much where I have it at right now. That's kind of the design of the game. A lot of you are going to see this as it's very familiar to other city building games or city sim games and so forth. That's the idea. The cloud aspect is going to be where a lot of the quests, the combat, player versus player, if I can ever get the multiplayer stuff working correctly, I have to learn how to do that, so I have to start from the beginning there. The defense is going to be your tower defense, a little bit of PvP. I would love to build in a purely idle aspect, as I mentioned earlier, to help with the player resources and gathering and some other fun things that they can do. I would love to expand on the idea even more of what I have, so if you guys have any ideas, throw them out there, put them in the comments. Hit me up on Facebook if you find me. Post it on my company page or whatever. I don't have a Facebook page for it because the game doesn't have a name yet. So if you guys come up with a name, that'd be cool too. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have right now. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing super fancy. But I'm kind of just throwing the concept out there. I recorded another video earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I think, with no audio, nothing really going on to explain what was happening. A lot of people were confused on what was up, rightfully so, and a few people were a little angry about it, which I get that. I'm totally my fault, and I apologize for it. But this is pretty much what I've got so far. It's kind of still in conceptual design stages, so I would like to continue it because I'm having fun making it. I just kind of want to get some feedback from you guys and see what you think. Let me know, and that's pretty much it.